The morning air was crisp and clear as King Parucha stood watch over the island. Suddenly, he spotted something on the distant horizon. "A ship," he shouted. His voice echoed across the camp, waking everyone from their sleep. "Light the beacon, quickly!" The group sprang into action. This was the moment they had been preparing for. 2 days earlier, the king and Bruandi had discussed building a signal beacon large enough to attract the attention of any passing vessel. With renewed hope, they had searched every corner of the island for materials. Salhuta and his father combed the beaches for driftwood, talata, and kalama, followed the stream beds gathering fallen branches. Bruandi wandered into the wooded hills alone, welcoming a few hours of quiet reflection. By the end of the day, they had assembled an enormous pile of timber in a small rocky cove. The king was astonished by how much they had collected. Working together, he and Bruandi carefully constructed the beacon, while the others gathered green leaves, seaweed, grass, and fresh branches that would create thick smoke when burned. The work was exhausting. Tulata regularly fetched water and fruit to keep everyone going, and each evening they rested briefly before continuing. Day by day, the beacon grew larger. Soon it towered above them like a wooden monument to hope itself. When at last it was complete, King Parucha stepped forward and looked upon their work. Then he dropped to his knees. "Heavenly Father," he prayed, "bless this beacon. Let the right ship see its flames and smoke guide help to us. We do not know where we are, nor how to find our way home. We are at your mercy. Please help us. For without rescue, we may never leave this island." The others bowed their heads quietly beside him. That evening, as they sat around their campfire sharing a simple meal, their conversation turned to the day the Shalapoon had sunk. Bruandi stared into the flames. "For the last few nights," he said softly, "I've been remembering things, fragments of what happened after the ship went down." Everyone listened. "I remember floating in the sea. I remember chaos. And I remember something enormous." He looked towards Salhuta. "Do you remember being struck by something large?" Salhuta frowned as he searched his memory. "Yes," he replied slowly. "I do. But after that, everything goes blank." Tulata nodded. "I remember darkness, complete darkness. It felt as though the world disappeared around me." Bruandi's eyes widened. "I think I know what happened." The group fell silent. "I think that darkness was a whale." "A whale?" asked Kalama. Bruandi nodded. "A huge one. I believe it carried us far away from where the Shalapoon sank." The king considered this carefully. Bruandi continued. "It would explain everything we've navigated by the stars many times before. Yet none of us recognize the constellations here. We aren't simply lost. We may have been carried hundreds, perhaps thousands, of miles from where we expected to be." The fire crackled softly as everyone absorbed the possibility. Finally, the king spoke. "It would not surprise me." He gazed up at the unfamiliar stars shining overhead. "Whatever brought us here, it was beyond our control. God has guided us this far, and perhaps there is a reason for our journey." The others listened quietly. The king's voice grew calm and steady. "Whether we are rescued tomorrow or remain here much longer, we must trust that there is a purpose in all of this." At that moment, a shout rang out from the shoreline. The ship was drawing closer. The beacon stood ready. And for the first time in many weeks, hope burned brighter than the fire itself.